This week's episode is brought to you by our good, beautiful friends from Bloke In A Bar. We love Bloke In A Bar. I had a few Bloke In A Bars on the weekend and I'm feeling fantastic. What a beautiful time it is to be alive, back out and seeing our friends and family. Hope you're loving it so much, but in all seriousness, Bloke In A Bar, love you guys. Thanks so much for the love and support. The show would be nowhere without you, and it's been allowing us to do our thing all year and keep going. So going to be drinking plenty of those coming into the festive season. Make sure you try them out, fam. They're in so many new stockers all over Australia. In Victoria, Duncan's West Brunswick Cellars, Mona Cellars Newborough, Mona Cellars Corumbarra, Eve Central IGA and Liquor, Frenchie's IGA Glen Waverley, in WA, Malaga Tavern, Gate Bar and Bistro, Ashby Celebrations, Liquor Baron Swanburn, and in Tassie, Celebrations Kingston and Celebrations Eastlands. Check it out and make sure your next slab of choice is a Bloke In A Bar. Let's go. Zak Butters, welcome to the show, my friend. It's an honour, it's a pleasure, it's a privilege to have you in the studio.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
I must apologise. We've been chatting for the last 10 minutes. And I'd said you were from Gippsland for about five times, and you politely were just like going with it for, I reckon, the first three until you pulled me up. And I for some reason, I thought Darley was in Gippsland.
Yeah, I was a bit confused at the start, and then I thought we better get on top of this before the show starts. So I was thinking he's going to ask me about Gippsland. I'm going to have nothing to say. So I gave me a little tour of where Back Smash is from here.
We're just looking through the main street. It's beautiful, and shout out to Back Smash. It's a beautiful place. I need to get there. Beautiful people of Darley. I apologise for that muck up. We'll get into it. No, thanks for coming on. I've been wanting to do this pod for a long time. So good to have in the studio. You're back in Melbourne at the moment, obviously, living down at Darley at this stage. How's it all going?
Yeah, it's always nice time of year to get back home and see your family and friends, and it's just refreshing getting back to where you grew up and just knowing the place. And probably other than playing footy and playing in big games, probably my second, third favourite thing to do with my spare time is just get back home and just relax for a bit.
You've been playing some golf? I'm a keen golfer at the moment. I must say, your swing, I got a bad swing. Yours is horrific. It's like, I thought it was in slow motion when you were coming down that ball. I thought you were like having a stroke or something like that.
Yeah, so basically picked up golf a year ago. I did listen to your little recent 47 on the back nine.
Yeah. You hit 47?
My best is 44 today.
No, it isn't.
But I wasn't using pinnacles, so... 47, I'm happy to take that. I walk off with 47 every day.
Oh, mate, that day I was playing. It's funny because I put that down, and I think if people think 47 is what I'd hit average, like that's not what I'm averaging. Like the game after that, I hit like a 60. So, look, it's good fun to get out. I'm actually going to head out this afternoon and play at Burnley, Royal Burnley. There's a Burnley golf course here. When I say Royal, it's like the worst golf course in Melbourne. It's beautiful. But your one in Darley looked pretty good.
Oh, it's pretty nice, like for Darley and Back Smash, but probably compared to Royal Burnley, it might not be up there.
Mate, that par 3 you were playing on though, I swear, if you hit that 10 metres more, you're literally killing someone.
Oh, that's in my backyard.
Oh, is that in your backyard?
Yeah, that's my backyard, yeah.
Oh, so you got a little par 3 in your backyard?
Yeah, so I just when I got home, I was just been trying to grind my golf game. So I said to Dad, I'm going to jump on the ride on, just mow a little green.
That's unbelievable.
But yeah, like you said, you don't want to miss long, and sorry to all my neighbours and people living Back Smash, but just watch out in Hallett's Way.
Mate, we'll get the video up. It's on your Instagram, Zak Butters. I actually thought that was a hole.
Yeah, that's just the backyard. It's about 50 metres, so I have bladed a few that have trickled near the road. Yeah. So they've stopped the heart a few times, but Mum and Dad sort of shaking their head kind of business, so they weren't too pleased with it.
What are you using for that? Is that the pitching wet? You'd probably be driving that, surely.
Yeah, the hybrid. That was my little 58.
Love it. How good. We'll have to get out a game. When I get over to Adelaide or to Back Smash or Darley, we'll definitely have a game. But being busy, I suppose, taking a break, big season, we'll get into that shortly. You've been doing some streaming, you've been in Perth. You've been a busy boy.
Yeah, it was nice. I'd never really been to Perth. And then Mitch Geordie are sort of banging on about it all year, like they do, the Perth boys.
They
love it back there. So I thought better give it a chance, and I'll head back there with him for 4 or 5 days. And it was pretty sick to get over there and actually see more of Perth, and lucky to go over to Roddo Island and do a bit of fishing and swimming and stuff. So yeah, thanks to Mitch for that and Perth for having me.
Off season, you had a couple injuries this year. What are you focusing on? What's getting better this off season? We spoke to CJ a few weeks ago, another young player in the game, but this time of year for someone like yourself and anyone in the AFL really, but you really have to use it to get better and focus on things that you're good at for one, but other things as well.
yeah, like you said, it's a really important time of year for especially us young football players and who are trying to make that next step and sort of become dominant players in the league. So, yeah, for me, it's like just putting on some more weight and getting bigger in the gym. That's probably my main thing. And yeah, so at the moment, I'm just working hard in the gym and then just keep improving my running. So, but mainly just trying to eye some more midfield time off in our team, which is going to be pretty hard to do. But yeah, just want to get bigger and stronger so I can sort of mix it with the big boys in there.
Well, mate, you do that already. I honestly don't think that you even need to put on too much more size. Like, you are so much bigger than I thought in terms of like your height, and also you're like you're a thick skinny. Like, I was a brittle skinny. Like, when my arms hurt like thinking about it. But you quite like you're strong.
Yeah, I'm probably not like you said. I'm like sort of thick, but not thick.
Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah,
thick, yeah.
I'm not like real skinny, but probably like when I went to the club, I was like 69 kilos. That's dripping wet as well.
What are you playing at now?
I'm at like 74, 75 now. So yeah, I'm getting there slowly. It's been a couple of years and yeah, a couple of injuries, like 2 shoulder recos haven't quite helped the upper body and the chest and stuff. But yeah, luckily I'm fit and healthy, and sort of injuries have been this year, so I can just attack off season and get better.
Has it, like your footy though, the way you go about it, no one questions your bravery, no one questions your toughness. You're already matching it with the best players in the AFL in that aspect. So is there really a need to try and get too much bigger? Like, do you just want to get stronger? It's not necessarily like getting bigger, is it? Because then, like, I'm saying this from my point of view, my whole career, and not that I reached what you did at all, but like, I was always like, fuck, I need to get bigger, I need to get stronger. I was like, at the end of the day, like, I'm already going, you know, I'm at this size. I don't know what it's like to be fucking 85 kilos anyway. Yeah. You're already doing it. Like, for you, is it just more focusing on what you're really good at? Yeah,
like it's pretty much spot on as well. Like, most people always say to me, like if you put on 3 or 4 kilos, I don't think it's going to make you do anything that you don't already do. Yeah. So for me, it's just about getting stronger and just probably more confident in my body a little bit more. But yeah, I'm looking just to get to the sort of like 78. I think that's where I want to be in the next year or two. So I think that will help me take another step in my game as well. But yeah, like you said, I think it's not the be all end all for any young kids out there who think like you have to be big and strong and whatever it is. Like, yeah, I was tiny my whole life, and still comparison to the AFL, I'm pretty tiny now. So I think it's more just if you want it, you can do it, sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. Did you, like, jumping forward, do you think about that a lot when you were picked up? Because from an outside perspective now, like, it didn't really look like you ever even took that into consideration, your size. Like, a lot of young players that come in, they go, fuck, I need to put on bigger, I need to get stronger until I can compete. But for you know, you're a high pick, small, you know, you were ringing wet 69 kilos, but it didn't really ever felt like it actually impacted you mentally. Like, was it conscious, or was it just that's how you did it?
Yeah, probably like growing up as well. Like, I always played like sort of above my year level and just wanted to play with the best people I could back at my junior club, and always trained with the seniors since I was 13 or 14. So I just sort of got used to playing with bigger people and being that small kid who just has a crack, sort of thing. And my dad was always really big on it as well, just basically installed in me that, like, it doesn't matter how big you are, what you're going to do. If you want to play AFL, go play AFL, sort of thing. So and that sort of just translated through my whole career. Like, I remember Hamish Harlett, my debut game, he was like talking and said, when you walked in the club, I thought, mate, like, I can't see this kid mixing it with everyone else. And then after a month or two, he said, I was just surprised and just didn't know what, like, never really seen it before. But then for me, it's like, it's never really been a shock, because I've always sort of just, that's how I've always been in every team I've gone into. Like, it's never been, I've been one of those, like, sort of like standout, like, players who look big and all that. I've just had a crack, really.
It's impressive, man. It really is. And like, that's why I love watching you play. And you know this, I probably know you too much on social media, and I apologise, but you're one of my favourite players to watch, because I think, like, looking at footy now, and what I understand a lot more from a fan's point of view now that I'm outside the game, is like, fans actually don't care about players, like how good they are. All they care about is if people just try hard. And I know that's like, it sounds like extremely simple, it's extremely corny, but like, people just love people that give it a crack. And like, that's exactly what you do. No matter how you're playing, like how the team's going, you just fucking rip in. And that's what people love.
Yeah, I think, like, with Port Adelaide as well, our fans really love just effort and like just
hair.
Yeah, 100% guns blazing, and that's the kind of supporters they are. Like, and where we're from in Adelaide, like, that's how everyone attacks life, really, in Adelaide, like, from Port Adelaide side of view. So yeah, that's sort of like it's something you get really thrown into when you get into the club, and it's made strong that that you're not going to get a game unless you're willing to do all the hard stuff and put 100% effort in, and sort of, I think you'd be a bit embarrassed if you went out and you'd probably cop from the fans. So it's something that you really want to get on top of, and it's really, and that's why you love playing in front of them, really.
Bloody oath, Calm the Pair. Do you know that I didn't know for so long why it was called the Pair? Like I was like, I thought someone said to us on this podcast that it was on a pear farm, and I know that's a stupid joke, but I actually believed it for a while. But it's pear. If anyone doesn't know, it's Calm the Pair.
Yeah.
The pair, because that's how people say the power.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I remember that after a couple months at the club, I was thinking like, I still didn't really get it. Like I was like, I'd had these thoughts and like thinking like, oh, it could be that, like it could be this, and then I remember asking Rose and a couple of the boys like, oh, what's going on? What's the pair? Like, I'm just like one day I had to build some courage up and just break the silence. I was like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's like our fans just like Calm the Pair. And I'm thinking like, oh, all right.
That's so fucking funny. Oh, I literally love it. And it makes like that, like when, you're seeing the big game at Adelaide Oval and you see the fans just going nuts, you can actually just look at them going, there.
Yeah, they absolutely love it. Like, like it's probably like one of the most used words in Adelaide now. So
yeah, geez, man, Port, like it's a massive credit to the Port and what they've been able to do. We spoke to Kane Corns a while ago about, a little bit probably before your time, and I'm sure there'd still be people there that speak about it. Like when I first started really getting into footy, like Port were covering up seats, like they couldn't get people to their crowds. They had no one there. The sort of Porter base didn't really look like it was that, prevalent.
Yeah.
And you fast forward now, one of the best, I reckon, easily the best in-game experience you've got. You've got In Excess playing, Adelaide Oval, the Jumpers elite. Like it just seems like an unbelievable place to play.
Yeah, it's like you summed it up really well then. Like just, playing at Adelaide Oval, like you get that excited just knowing you got a home game coming up, and like you said, you get the never tear us apart, and we run out to not giving in. So it's like it's unbelievable, and all the fans show up now. Like we're getting 40,000 consistently. Like doesn't matter if it's a Saturday, Sunday, whenever it is, and it just makes it really exciting to play footy in front of. And I know they're really passionate as well, so they always show up, win, lose or draw. But us boys just love playing in front of a good crowd at a good oval.
Yeah, how good's that song though?
Yeah,
like is it sick? Like I can't like a big game like the finals and whatnot obviously didn't go the way, but walking out and having that song pumping, I don't care what anyone says, like a bit of soundtrack to your life is just like you feel like you're in a movie. Do you feel like you're in a movie sometimes?
Yeah, I probably didn't notice it as much in my first year, maybe in my second year. Like how actually like sick it is, like and then once you play at all the other venues and sort of get to see like what they do and how it pans out, like you think like this is right up there, like this is like probably like one of the best in the AFL. And
100%.
like you get to be like just trying to think about the game at the start of it, and then like the fans are going nuts and like catch yourself singing the song a bit, and like, and then you like it's unbelievable to play.
So good. Hey, going back, we were talking just before about how you play the game, your toughness and whatnot, but a lot of that would have come back from Bacchus Marsh days, growing up playing footy, growing up in Bacchus Marsh and playing with Darley. Now you played, before you got drafted, you played in a flag with one of my favourite people of all time, Heath Scotland, who I think is easily one of the best footy brains in the world. How was that experience?
Yeah, Scotto was unreal. I remember like sort of when the club got him back, obviously he'd played his juniors there and sort of went through a similar pathway to me at the Western Jets, and then was lucky enough to get drafted. And then when he came back, sort of real big buzz around the town, and I hadn't met him before and knew too much about him. But the town was just really excited to get such a good quality person back to the local footy club, which is like a real big thing in our town. Like it's basically like our town, like it's what our town thrives off. So. And then I remember just I was obviously at the Western Jets and doing a bit of Vic Metro stuff at the time, but I'd always get down the train when I could, and but basically like when you meet him, you sort of feel like you've known him for 10 years already. He's just like one of them blokes, and then he's basically just become like a mentor for me. And then I remember like I'd come back from TRC and like didn't really expect too much, like didn't really expect to just like walk in the team and play senior footy. I was only like 16, 17, and but every week he'd just say, "You're in, mate, like just go play footy, go do your thing," and just listen to him like talk about footy and like just talking to him about the game and stuff. Just he's got unbelievable knowledge of the game, and but then he's got the other side of being like real hard and sort of like letting you know what you need to do when you need to do it as well. So he's probably one of the best coaches I've had to date.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I think I've told the story a few times with Scotto, but like he was probably like one of the only people I've ever come across that could just give you such strong feedback. It was like strong and it hit you between the eyes, but you knew that he was doing it because he wanted to make you better.
Yeah, 100%.
What are you like? Are you still got a bit of a relationship with him now? Do you still like speak to him about your game? Like, what's some things that he sort of said to you that you like? Oh yeah, fuck, I still think about that today.
Yeah, I remember like it was like distinctive over my first year. I'd sort of was in our team for a couple of months, like just sort of I'd been dropped a couple of times, and I was just like lacking some confidence. I'd never really been dropped too much, and didn't know like I was pretty frustrated and angry. Like I thought I should have been in the team, but then. And I remember just one day, like he'd always text me throughout the year, just ask how I was going, and would kept in close contact, and we normally catch up when I get back home as well. And I just like said, could I give you a buzz? Like just want to have a chat and stuff. And he just probably spoke to him for 15, 20 minutes on the phone, and he just told me some things that he'd done in his career, like when he lacked some confidence and when people sort of doubted you. And he told me to like just. Like go watch your highlights from like the last year or so, like you playing footy or like things that you like you're proud of in your footy, and then like sort of it just brings you back and sort of like puts some good energy back in you as well. And then basically from there, like I've just kept doing that. And like if I have a bad week on the track or a bad game, I sort of just like look back on things that I've like some of my best footy stages and things that like vision where I've been in my best form, like what I was doing and stuff. So. That's probably like one thing I've got best off him, and then just like little things. I remember we had the week off before the granny, but we had training Saturday morning, and I think I was 16 at the time, and I said to mum the night before, like, I've got to be down and train at 9 o'clock, like, and I've woken up at like probably just after 8 and had some brekkie, and just waiting for mum, and it got really close to 9 o'clock, and I'm only like 5 minutes down the road, and mum was still sleeping better. I rushed wake her up, like, mum, we need to go train, and then I remember I walked in a minute or two before 9 o'clock, and luckily one of the old like other senior boys walked in as well, and he sort of said, don't ever do that again, like we got a granny in a week and you rocked up the train 2 minutes before we're meant to be here, like so like even like them little things just like make me like you get to train early, you do what you need to do to be ready for training. So even little things like that just stick with me. And
I can see why he took a liking to you. It's very similar. Like he was a tough, like tough. You won't say the word on this show, but I think you know what I'm saying. Like he would like, I think he had like a broken ankle and he would still just run on it like every day. Like he was just crazy. So I think honestly, I'm not the Scotto show here, but if anyone is looking for someone to get involved in their footy club, at an AFL level, I'm saying he's unbelievable. I think that he should definitely be considered. Back as March, Darley as a kid, what was it like growing up there?
Yeah, growing up, it's like, I love the place, and that's why I get back every opportunity I can. Like, just basically live on the same street as three or four of my best mates. We all live basically on the same street, so I just grew up riding my bikes, like run the bikes down the footy. Basically spent most weekends down the footy club. Like, I'd run water for the 18s and then the seniors growing up, and just love the footy club. Like, mum would drop me off at 10 in the morning and pick me up at 8 o'clock at night, and just like, that's basically like how I lived every weekend. And then I'd go play juniors on Sunday, and just like so many like good memories at the footy club. And we have a couple of little rivers in the town as well, so summertime is always fun, just like riding your bikes down the river and with all your mates and trying to find new swimming spots and going fishing. And it's pretty laid back kind of town, but everyone sort of knows each other, so it's pretty, like, I feel like when I go back, like everyone just knows me. Like, I'm just like I'm sort of like same Zak that they've known since I was 12 years old. Like
Zak from the block.
Yeah, basically like the same little kid that was running around causing chaos like when I was 12, just around the local footy club. And like all my best friends are still play for my local footy club, and it's just nice going home. It's just so refreshing to see like everyone. Nearly when you go in the street, like you always see people you know, and it's good to talk to them. And everyone's really close knit, and especially our footy club, like everyone just knows each other, and like such a caring and safe environment. So
do you have a good bakery in Darley? Like, I feel like all countries, do you get a good bakery
there? Is
a
nice bakehouse. My dad actually has a tab down there, so when I get home, I have to like sort of watch myself.
What do you go for are you a pie guy? I love pies.
I love a pie, but like they make these like really good chicken city rolls. Oh, yeah. So that's probably like my go-to, but it's a bit dangerous to the tab, especially like, it was real handy when I was younger, like chuck it on dad's tab. So now when I go home, every now and then I just Chatting to Dad's dad. My sister actually got banned from doing it. Like, Dad's like, you can't just like go eat there every day. Like we're taking you off the tabs. Yeah. I was lucky enough to keep my spot.
That's good. Shout out to your dad. That's awesome. Hey, we spoke earlier, but you know, growing up in Dyl, you faced a fair bit of adversity. As a young bloke there with a bit of family issues and whatnot. Are you happy to talk us through what happened?
Yeah, it was sort of like me and my sister growing up were really close. Like little athletics every Saturday morning, and like I'd go watch play netball during the week, and she'd probably didn't want to, but she'd come watch me play footy, and would really like pretty sporty little kids, and would always be out in the backyard. Wrestling or whatever it is, like she used to belt me up a bit fair bit, to be fair. But yeah, basically, sort of as we got a bit older, she sort of like, sort of started hanging out with some wrong people and stuff. And I always tried, as a little brother, I was like sort of tried to be the enforcer. Like I was like real footy enough, like really just like wanted to be healthy and like train hard and like do everything right. So I was sort of like, we sort of complete opposites in a way. And then I sort of got a bit older, and we sort of like, sort of disconnected a bit, and then sort of like we as a family we sort of knew like something was a bit off, and so like things weren't quite right, and she had a tough couple of years previous to that with some brain surgery and going through that and then recovering, and then so she'd been through a fair bit, like then sort of lost sport, like with her brain surgery, couldn't play sport, and sort of probably lost that connection with people like her, like through community and sporting clubs and like you do. And then sort of just she wasn't at home as much as she used to be, and sort of things were like mum and dad were getting a bit worried and stuff, but you sort of think like, it doesn't happen to like us, like it is what it is, like hear stories about it. And then just like I think the day before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas, like she just went missing, and no one heard anything. Like I was messaging on Facebook, mum and dad, like trying to call her friends, and then so basically like that was like probably the worst Christmas I've ever had. It wasn't really Christmas that year. And then as it got on, sort of still months had gone past, and I hadn't seen her. Like you sort of, like I said, with Baxmarsh being a small town, you'd hear all these whispers, and you'd sort of just ignore them and think like, nah, that's not her. Like that's not like, you'd sort of nearly a bit of shamed in a way, like. And then I remember just mum and dad like sitting me down one night and sort of telling me like what has happened, and like I was 14 or 15 at the time, so I was pretty shell shocked, like just didn't really know too much about it as well, and like how bad of an addiction it was, like so it's probably one of the toughest things I'd been told as a little brother and stuff. And ever since then I probably wasn't quite the same for a couple of years. I just sort of ashamed to go to the footy club. Like everyone knew that your sister'd become addicted to ice, and sort of hadn't seen her in a year, and like everyone would always ask you like, how's your sister going, like have you heard anything? And like in the end it just got so draining. I was just like, I don't really want to go down the footy club. Like, I love footy, like I just wanted to go there for that 2 hours, not the hour or two before, like after or before it, because it just become, and even school, like I just, like some days I'd just be like, no, I'm not going to school, I just don't want to go to school. Like it's just like everyone at school would always ask you about it, and like it's just like become like no one really asked how I was or anything, like it was just like everything was just about what's going on, like, and it just become like really like become a lot for me. And lucky I had mum and dad, like they were huge, and but even for them, like I felt like I just wanted to take a back seat, and like they were already going through enough in their relationship and with their daughter and stuff. So basically for a couple of years I just sort of like I just took the back seat and just said like go sort that out, and like I don't want to be like a distraction, so like if you need me I'll be here, sort of thing. And it probably bonded me and my parents like way stronger than we were. So things are pretty good, like probably the last, basically till I got into the AFL system. Like I remember even playing Vic Metro, like some games like stuff was going on back home, and just like footy wasn't the most important thing in my life at the time, like just like worried about like my parents and how they were going, and like if my sister was like healthy and like even alive at stages. I was like, we hadn't heard of her, like and then got to an AFL club, and like AFL clubs are these days, like got such good like networks and good people around footy clubs, and I think it's come a long way from probably like back when you were playing, like just how good people are at footy clubs these days, and coaches, and how much more easy it is to talk about things. So I moved away, and she was still going through a bit when I moved away. So it was a bit of a struggle early days, and like I felt like I wanted to be there for my parents, like, and wanted to be back home and be helping out where I could and stuff. So, but yeah, talking to some people and getting more knowledge about it, and then just opening up to people really. Like even we had Hugh in the club, and like this is where we're tracking with this conversation. So I was like, I'd been wanting to get it off my chest. And I'd spoken to Kenny, like I'd sort of spoken to Kenny about it for a while, and he sort of knew previous to the draft. And then Hugh sort of was doing this thing, the Triple H, like hero, heartbreak, or help sort of thing. And I'd been thinking about it for ages, like, but just needed an opportunity, like to talk to people. So we're up in Queensland at the time, and he basically come to the club before we went up there and said, like, I need 12 people for the first night, like send me a text sort of thing. And I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity. Like, I nearly wanted to be tomorrow. Like, I wanted to get up there and speak if it was tomorrow, because I just wanted to get off my chest. And so basically I sent him a text basically as I got home from the club, said like, mate, like chuck me on the first 12. I just want to get it, I want to get it over and done with. Like, if I wait any longer, I'll go insane. Basically growing up, like, just, it's sort of, when I look back now, like, it made me like who I am. Like, it's just like footy, like the 2 hours at footy, and like the same, like, just helped me so much. Like, just like I'd go to the footy club, and like I said, other than the talk before and after, like we're around the club and stuff, like them 2 hours at footy training with my mates and stuff, and like they're so unbelievable. And then even at Western Jets and stuff, like it was sort of refreshing going to Western Jets and Vic Metro, like sort of a fresh face, and no one really knew like what had happened. So like you could just feel like you just go there with no stress, and like you just play footy and do what you want to do. So footy, like like it is for a lot of people, it's just such a great escape from like just what's actually happening in your life.
Mate, it's unbelievable. I don't think I can even add to that. Like, you've just, that's like the way at a young age, like, I can't imagine facing adversity, going through a family that's going, through something like that. But then to already identify now that it's made you who you are. And I think that's like the coolest thing sometimes with adversity. Like, you would take that back and you wouldn't want that experience to happen. Yeah. But now it's almost made you who you are. It's given you perspective. You're closer with your family than you'd ever be, and your sister's, on the mend and going really well.
Yeah, spot on. Like, like you said, like you never want it to happen to anyone. Like I said, like you don't really think it's ever going to happen to you. Like, and even in Max Marsh today, like just in like Darley and stuff, like it's a pretty like sickening and big issue in our town. Like it is in a lot of small country towns sort of thing. So, like people you grow up with, like you see them go down, like follow the same path, and like. You see other people that you've known your whole life who are like older and stuff doing the same thing as well. So it's pretty upsetting and sad, like seeing people, like you've seen the good side of them and then seeing them like around town and stuff, like. But like you said, like it just holds you in perspective, and like just knowing that I'm pretty proud of my sister today, to be fair. Like back then I was pretty ashamed, and like just like when people would ask me, I'm like, oh, don't ask me, I don't know, like whatever, like I don't really care about it anyway, like acting like it didn't really mean that much to me. But then I'd go home at night and just like make my blood boil. But now, like just knowing how hard it is to like overcome addictions, and like especially ice, like it's probably one of the worst addictions in the world. And like she's on the mend, and like she's got a new boyfriend, she's pretty happy with life, and she's working and stuff, and she seems like she's in a pretty good place, like, and it's good to see her back to some pretty normalised life. So when you look back now, I'm just like, pretty proud as a brother, and like that, she's doing well.
It's awesome, mate. It's super, super incredible, and massive. Massively would be hugely proud of your sister and what she's been through, and especially your mum and dad and yourself. It's honestly incredible. I think from someone that, probably hasn't, I haven't had to deal with adversity like that before. To hear that story and what you've been able to get out with it, it doesn't surprise me how you are like you are. What would you say to someone that's been through this, like other families like this that are in your situation now, like something that could help them, or someone that's maybe going through this, they've got a friend or family member they might be going down this path? Like, is there anything, advice that you'd give? Yeah,
probably just like talk to your mates about it and stuff. That's probably one thing. I probably didn't want to talk about it to too many people, like, but my 3 or 4 best mates, it probably took me like a year to actually just have a chat with them and like just let them know like that, like, because like I like just turned down some like like offers to catch up, and like just because I wasn't, like, I just like, I had some more serious stuff going on and probably wasn't myself. And I like, just after I felt like I told them, they were like, yeah, we knew like something wasn't right, but. And then like they just like so much support come, like then like they just put their arms out, like, and like that's what best mates do, like.
Yeah.
So probably just like one thing, just like don't be afraid to tell people like that are close to you, like because like they probably like already know, like because they know you so well, like they already know something's not right. So it's probably just easy to have a chat to them and probably just talk to your family members and like you gotta like no one else is like, it's a pretty hard thing to get help for, like it's pretty. Like one, it's pretty expensive. Like if you don't really have much money, like it's hard to get into like rehab centres and find help. So, and there isn't a lot of government support out there for it either. So, you really just got to like stick to what you know, like around you, like your family members and your mates, and then try and find help and talk to people that can help you and point you in the right direction. And we were lucky enough to have a really lovely lady in Baxmarsh who helped us out and basically become like best friends with my sister and just got her into rehab and helped our family out. Like she wasn't even my sister's mentor in the end. Like I still catch up with her for brekkie when I'm home and just talk to her about stuff. And she talks to my parents, but still like she's been awesome support. So find someone in the area who knows what they're doing and just reach out really.
It's awesome, man. And one part I think is really important, I love what you said then about like opening up to your mates, is like how much better now that you've finally had that chat with like your teammates, as you're saying, you're so keen to just chat with Hugh Van Colenberg, obviously with the Triple H session, you've talked to your mates. And, you know, I went through some things recently where, you know, sometimes you've got to be ready to have that discussion as well. Like sometimes you're not ready to talk to people, and when you are, and you finally open up to people, one, your relationship with those people is just like, it's so much better. Yeah. And you just like, you feel like, fuck me, like I'm so much closer to these people and people know who I am. It's like a weight off your shoulders. You don't have to put on a brave face anymore. You can just be open. But also like, you just feel like free and it's like, fuck, well, everyone knows this now. Like there's nothing more that I have to, you don't have to put my guard up. It is how it is. My best mates know it, they accept it and you move on.
Yeah, I feel like your relationships with like the people, your best mates and the people you talk to about just skyrocket really and go to another level and you feel like, you know, that welcomes them to do the same thing back to you and your other friends as well. Like it's a real, like, I think it's a good thing that should be well normalised and become a popular thing to do amongst friendship groups. So I'm all for it, and I'm lucky enough to have some really cool mates that have been awesome. So
awesome, man, I love it. And just sorry to keep harping on this, but the thing you said before as well, like that I love, is like the perspective you get from this. Like now, like you're playing footy at the highest level, but really, it's at the end of the day, it is professional footy. You're playing for grand final, you're playing for points, but there's so much other important things to life, like having that balance outside of it. You're not always just thinking, fuck, this is, you know, be all end all. Like with adversity, sometimes you look back and you just go, fuck, like it's actually set me up to be like the best human I can be.
Yeah, spot on. I think like with footy players as well, like just who are real competitive and real high achievers as well, like you put so much pressure on yourself that like you've already got so many other people and things in the world putting pressure on you, like but you automatically think it's like you put so much more on yourself because you want to be the best, you want to be really good at what you do and stuff. But then that stuff sort of thinks like there's a lot of people out there doing much worse than I am. And there's a lot of people out there like that are really struggling like and doing it harder than I am right now. So like at the end of the day, like if I just give my best, that's all, at the end of the day, that's all I can really do. And whether it's good for some people, it's good. Whether it's bad for some people, like and they don't accept it, well, that's their choice.
Love it, mate. You credit to yourself, credit to your family, credit to honour to be on this show and tell us story. I really appreciate you opening up. Let's talk about some footy at Port. Super Draft 2018. You were picked 12, but you've slid. So you were sort of telling me you should have been number one pick, basically, is what you were saying off air before. Is it true that you nearly went to Melbourne? Is that true? There was an article saying that like they were trading. I think that was one of the first years where they could pick swap and they were trying to get you ahead of Port. I actually had no idea about that until it come out and stuff. And like, I didn't really know too much about it, but breaking news. I remember like going to the draft, like I didn't expect to even go 12, to be fair. Like, like probably didn't. You didn't think you'd slide that much?
I didn't think I'd get bolted that much. But probably until I was 16, I don't think I really got in the radar of like clubs. Like I was like a bit of a late developer height wise, like still am. So yeah, like till 16, it was my first ever Vic team I'd made, and played some good footy there. And then from there, I sort of started getting some more like confidence and like just belief in myself. Like not many like people from Darley like get to make it to the league and stuff. So I was like thinking like, yeah, hopefully it's me. And then sort of just, from there, just really blossomed and started to play some really good footy. And I remember going into my draft year, like I wasn't in like up there like in the top 20 or something, and then just played some good Vic Metro footy and really had a good team at Western Jets and a good coach and like a pretty good system down there. So they allowed me to play my kind of footy and let me just have fun and and then towards the end of the year, like I wasn't playing. Then I had a shoulder up after the championships and sort of just was lucky enough to get some good footy in the first half of the year and sort of started getting projected a bit higher, and I was singing I was still a bit shocked, it's a bit too good to be true, and then was lucky enough to go pick 12 to Port Adelaide, and I didn't really know, I was sort of in that area, like I could go between 10 to 20, so I didn't really know where I was gonna go or what, and there was a bunch of states, so I was basically gonna end up just about anywhere in Australia. So being at the draft, mum and dad was a really special night, and lucky enough to attend. And I remember when they called my name, I was just like froze a bit and just didn't really know like what to expect. And just like 10 years of like just putting in and sort of like a dream, and then it all comes true in the space of like 10 seconds, and it's just nuts. So so grateful that Port Adelaide gave me the opportunity, and really lucky to got drafted to a great club, and basically they've accepted us three boys and just like told us to be us and just play footy and make sure you stick within like what our team demands of you on game day, and then other than that, like just go there and do your thing. And that's Kenny's really big on that. You probably hear him speak in the media a lot. Like he just wants us to play footy and play what we see and just go after it really. So he's a great coach to play for, and we've got a really good list with a lot of exciting players. So, it's a good club to be involved in.
Yeah. I love Big Kenny in the box. He gets really up and about. He does like the... he does like this shit. He's like, oh, yeah.
He loves it. He's like... he's just like...
He's a bit of a dork, but a cool dork. He's like a swag dork. Like, I love you, Kenny. Like,
he's like... That's like what he's like in the coach box is like what he's like with everything. Like,
right.
Like he's like missing like most... Like right there, like some of the most competitive people I've ever met.
Really?
Like us boys, we shooting hoops, like sort of like during lunch, like we've had some lunch, just like shooting mucking around. Like he walks downstairs, like everyone, like he loves Coke Zero, like absolutely loves Coke as well. Like just like you probably see him drinking it in the box for a bit. And he's like, let's put a slab of Coke Zero on. Who wants to shoot off? Like,
slab of Coke Zero.
Like, he just like absolutely like. And then like my first year, I'm like, he's like, I was got to the club. I'm like, he can't be good at shooting. Like, so I'm like,
buckets.
Like, I'm like thinking like, I'm going home with a slab of Coke Zero today. Like. And he's got me done. Like,
oh, wow.
And like, next few days, like just harping on me, like, where's his slab? So like, I had to get in the slab and like, it's a bit of a walk of shame. Like, got to walk up the stairs at the club, like, and all the boys know who it's for. Like, got to chuck in his office and then like, and then he's always like smiling, that happy with himself.
That's
like,
so good.
And then basically after he's like, it's another victim, mate. Like, I get most people when they come in, like, I was just so disappointed in myself.
A big slab of Coke Zero. I've never heard of that before. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
he, when like from an outside perspective as well, like with that draft of you three, Rosie, yourself, and Dersma, I feel like maybe the external point of that was like, these three guys are going to take us to like, these are our guys. Was that like conversation ever had like with the coaching? Like, can he ever grab you three and just go, hey boys, like we really want it. I know we're putting it on you, but you three are going to be our guys. Or did they let you just sort of go as kids and play for you?
Yeah.
It seemed like they did the way that you guys played.
Yeah, to be fair, there wasn't too much chat about like you're the future, like we need you to be good players. Like I felt like all of us three like have good like characteristics, and like we wanted to be that sort of player anyway. Like we already had our mindset on we're going to be like good players. We're going to put in the work, and I think that's the biggest thing. We will come in and just like worked really hard at training and just like trained so hard every session. And I think like at the end of the day, they probably didn't need to have that chat with us. But I remember like after my first year, like we just missed out in finals. Like we're sort of in the 8 going in the last couple of games and just lost our last few games and tailed off and just missed finals. And I remember Ken got me, Connor and Zave, and we went and watched the Geelong Richmond final in Melbourne, and he just wanted to like wanted to watch a game with us, like watch a final, like big, pretty like high intense game and big game, and he said like just like this is what we need you boys to help us do. Like we need to get to this stage, and like you three are going to be like the next like phase that help us get here. Like it's not going to be like Robbie or Westy or them older guys at the club anymore. Like they'll do what they do, and like we know what we're going to get out of them. Like they're good players. Like we know what they do for our team, but like we need you young boys to like really drive that next wave and get us to there. I remember just watching the game with him, and just like the big moments, like he'd nearly call them before that happened. Like the next 5 minutes is like decided and stuff. So that's probably like the only really thing like that he spoke about. But then ever since then, and then yeah, we've been lucky enough to play in 2 prelims since then. And he was just like sort of wanted to prepare us for their moments, but let us know like that was sort of an expectation as well. So yeah, he's really good like that, and he's such a people's person, and he really knows how to interact with people. And I think he's come a long way from talking to the older boys at the club, like when he first got there, and I've heard he's pretty hard and like pretty tough, and like. But compared to now, I think even just with having Hugh into the club and doing so much stuff with the connection space, like he's just like a real good people's person now.
Yeah. Fuck, it's pretty big. Like taking you to the game and saying that I got goosebumps thinking about that. That's pretty massive. With the boys as well, like I suppose something I was just thinking about then that maybe subconsciously happened. I'm assuming it would have. But when you pick 3 guys that are good and they're close in that pick, like I can imagine you're all like best mates, but how competitive you would have been to each other, and like wanting to like play first or be the best first young player. And sometimes like I feel when you don't have that competitiveness, if there's someone sort of not with you that's attainable to compete with, it doesn't push you to be as good as you are.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like if young guys don't get picked up with people, or they don't feel like they're competing for a spot, they're not going to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, spot on. I think with us, like it's such a healthy competitiveness as well. Like you'll come in at the same stage, and you sort of like all want to be great and be like such a good influence on the team, and be good players and stuff. And I think like just like I remember like even in our first year, like we're always just on each other's backs, like just like whoever had more tackles and stuff. It was always just like the little things, like not who like the disposals or whatever it was. It was always like just little things. So. And I think now we've matured as people, like we're just like we lean on each other as well. Like we know like we've played 3 years of footy basically every game together now as well. So we know our strengths so much, and like just going into the games and stuff, like we just like we know like we have to bring energy and bring that spark, and that's our role for the team, like to sort of be them players and stuff. So it's always like just good to lean on each other. You know, like they're pretty much going through the exact same thing you are, like feeling exactly how you are as well. So. Yeah, it's been good having them couple boys like in the same position just to go through the same journey.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, you can definitely see that the way you guys push each other. It's honestly exciting to watch. Like I love watching Port Adelaide, and especially you 3 just do your thing. And you know that because I should stop messaging you. Now with the 2018 draft we spoke about before, obviously that's been spoken about. Kane Cornsey, was very bullish on yourself and Connor Rosie and Dersma. But if you had to pick that now, not including you and your teammates, who would you say your top 5 would be of those players? Can you think that you, and because you've seen them, I suppose, from playing with them all the way through to what they've been able to do now. Has anyone even? Maybe the next question would be who's surprised you the most?
Yeah, I think Walsh he's incredible. Like Sam Walsh, like even like when we versed him in our state games growing up and stuff.
He's number 1.
Yep, number 1.
Okay.
By a fair way.
Yeah.
In my books anyway.
Yeah,
he's like next level, like just and like he's I love watching him play as well. He's a great player. Second I reckon like Bailey Smith, like to be fair, is my second. Like the way he's like played the last couple of years of footy, and like
his finals was fucked as well.
Yeah, like mate, he was unbelievable in the finals, like and he's like they're both pretty much got similar strength, like just absolute freak runners, like who work really hard. And have good skills and good footy knowledge. So like, they're 1 and 2 for me. And then probably after them, it's probably like the King brothers. Like it's pretty rare you get like them like insanely skilled key forwards. 2 in the same draft. Like they're basically clones of each other.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to play with them, and like they're just like you don't really get them players too often in AFL. So yeah, they're 3 and 4 for me. 5 would have to be. I'm going to stick with Connor at 5. Like he's insanely quick. Like probably the quickest human I've never like been around. Like
Really?
just like insanely quick.
Like first 5, or is it like the build up speed? Because I feel like he's got a real like his top speed is like crazy.
Like just basically like, and the most agile. Like like I don't really you don't really ever see him get tackled too much. Like it's just like super agile. Like
you got strong hips.
Yeah, like he's just like insanely quick though. Like he gets the ball and like if there's anyone around him, like you just know like he's getting out of there. Like and if you've got any space in him, like just kick it like near him. Like and he's just like but then he's strong. Like he's got a pretty good jump. Like he's just like he's got it all. So looking forward to playing.
Is it Rosie or Rose?
It's Rosie.
Rosie, yeah, that's what I thought. That's good. Fantastic. No, it's good. It's very exciting. Put Adelaide in a good space. I'm excited. I need to get a membership next year.
We'll have to get you on board.
Please do.
Port Adelaide.
Please do. I thought that this, like, we've obviously met via online. Were you saying earlier that we actually have crossed paths before? Is this true? I'm actually nervous of this.
We actually have. Like me and my mate who were involved at the time, like we still talk about it. Like it comes up like every.
This is. I don't know if this is a piss take or not.
No, I'm serious. 100% serious. Like every year, he's from Melbourne. Like every time I catch up with him, like we always like this. This conversation always comes up. Like, so we'll under 16 Vic Metro try. It's at Icon Park.
Yeah.
I reckon would have been pre-season for you guys or whatever it was, but yeah, we're sort of doing our warm up, having a few shots for goal and stuff. And
oh my god, I remember this.
Do you remember this?
I think I do.
So me and my mate Walshy's like, you probably remember,
redhead,
bright red hair, red hair. Like he's like the most distinct redhead you'll ever see. So we're having shots from the pocket. There's a few of us boys there, like all trying to like, it's like from just inside the junction from the pocket where like leads into your gym area and stuff, and like you come out with like one of the other boys, and you're like, next person who slots like a pair of shoes on me, and we're like we've all raced to get a footy, like who's gonna slot it first, like, and like what my mate Walsh, he already had a ball in his hand, like he's just threaded it like first kick, and like you're the winner. Dyl runs inside, like brings out these like fresh Nikes, like we're one up for like a steak game. Like, this is unreal. Like what size are you? Like run inside, like he's just got a fresh pair of Nikes for the game. We're like, mate, that bloke is unreal. Like what a sick guy. Like,
I promise that wasn't planned, but I literally used to have a key to that like Nike closet at Carlton, and I hope Shane O'Sullivan's not listening, but geez, the amount of boots I'd give out to people was ridiculous. I remember that. That was I remember thinking, and what was your mate's name?
Nick Walsh.
Nick Walsh.
Yeah.
He didn't get drafted?
Nah, he didn't. Nah.
Fuck me. You know what I mean? Like, I was really hoping he'd be the number one pick. That story would have been a lot better. But I'm still happy that you were there.
Yeah.
That's great.
And like, there was like probably like 3 or 4 saying like, just like we're trying to warm up for the game the whole time. We're just buzzing like.
But I don't think that they fitted him, did they? Was he too small for him? Or was
no, they did. Like he still has them at his house now.
Oh, really?
Like, I was over there like start of the year. And he's like, yeah, they're like the shoes like Dyl gave me. I'm like, this is like insane. So it always comes up in conversation. Like,
wow. Can we get a photo of that?
Yeah.
I want the shoes. I want to get the shoes.
Yeah, I'll sort that out for you.
Yeah, good. Oh, wow.
So ever since then, I thought like, mate, this guy's a sick dude. Like,
oh, I'm not that much.
Like, who does that? Like, it's just like 16-year-old kids, like AFL player. Like, it's just
that's
like,
awesome.
We loved it. Yeah.
I'm getting a bit embarrassed, but that was no, I do remember that, and I think that like honestly, the one thing that like I don't really miss anything from footy. But the one thing like I would say to any players, and like I hope that you would do this now that you're in that position, is you don't understand like how much you can make someone's day, like just by those little things. And that's like, I know like I can try and do that now, but you can't do it the same. Yeah. Like footy, giving a kid a pair of boots that like, it's just like, and I'd totally forgotten about that, to be honest. And it's no skin off my back, but like you can do that. And like it's a long lasting memory for someone else.
Yeah, exactly. Like we'll probably talk about to a 60. Like.
That's so good.
Like driving on the way here, like just popped in my mind. I started laughing in the car on the way here. I'm like, this is gonna be unreal. Like,
that's awesome, man. No, I'm happy. Just a good bloke, man. Yeah. Like, you know, like he's just a standout guy. That's fantastic.
He's one of the good guys.
To finish off on some tidbits, something that you I've pumped you up a lot today, but something you need to get better at is eating tomato sauce on all your food. It's actually embarrassing. You're an adult. Okay? You've got to develop those taste buds. you can't just be slapping tomato sauce on everything. That's what Tommy Sheridan does. It's like, we'll go out to a nice cafe, we haven't been there for a while, and he'll order a nice meal, like he'll order a nice steak, and he'll just smack some tomato sauce on it. It reflects badly on the whole friendship group.
I hadn't, like, my friends all the time, like we walk in and like get food, and even the boys at the footy club, like I feel like they're embarrassed to be with me. Like, yeah. and then it makes me embarrassed, and I'm like, but I have to do it. Like,
you just love it?
I don't want to do it, but I have to. Like, yeah, I just love tomato sauce, but like I'm starting to expand more. Like the diet's sort of reaching new levels now. So, but yeah, there's still times I'm like, can I take the mayo off and just add tomato sauce and just get instant like absolute dirty looks from your mates, and like you're like oh, I don't want to do it, but like, yeah, I just love tomato sauce.
Tummies.
Yeah.
You should get the one on the key ring that you can just like squeeze out.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Like in Adelaide, I have like 5 or 6 bottles. It's like in my pantry.
You got a certain, which is your one? Do you go for a certain one? Like, 'cause sometimes I used to like that, like, you know, you can get not the rally, like the old school one with the parrot on it.
Yeah,
remember that one?
I like White Crow.
White Crow
the brand. Like,
okay.
I just, I think our mum just like always bought that growing up, and like.
White Crow.
Like you actually, I can't get that. Couldn't find it in Adelaide. So every time I come home, I'm sort of like load up to get back. And
do you get the big 3 litres?
Yeah, and then just fill up the little tubs. It's like, I'm a bit of a tomato. It's a bit sickening at stages, but like, I'm getting better. Like eventually, I have barbecue sauce, a bit more things now. So, slowly getting there. But it's a grind.
Okay. Do you like Subway? You should get. Do you like Southwestern sauce?
I do like Subway.
Yeah, Southwestern Chipotle.
I haven't had it. No, it's always just like
really good, man.
Tomato sauce.
Very, very. Oh, that's disgusting. What's the weirdest thing you eat? Like,
I'm not sure. Like probably up until a couple of years ago, like I'm probably still am, to be fair. Like I don't eat eggs.
Really?
So like
I'm a bit like that, but I have to have them scrambled. I don't like them like poached. The yolk freaks me out a bit.
So I don't eat eggs at all. Like just no eggs. So like when I go for brekkie, like it's always looking like, can I have eggs and bacon with no eggs? So it's just bacon on toast. Like it's pretty weird now. I think about it. Like even like the older I'm getting, I'm like it's pretty shit.
Just call
like,
the egg. Yeah.
It's pretty like it's just boring.
It's pissant, really, isn't it?
And like the more I like and just having that for like so like all the time, like it's starting to just get a bit dry and boring. So if anyone's got any ideas, help me eat eggs. Like
you got to try. I'll tell you the one way. My missus makes an incredible what's it called? Not a quiche. Maybe it is quiche. And you like put heaps of like veggies, and then you put it in a pot, and then you pour like egg over it, and it's like
omelette.
Not an omelette. No, it's similar to an omelette, but it's a quiche, so it's a bit like a pie.
Yeah.
You can have tomato sauce on it too. Actually, I had some last night. It's really good. So maybe try that. Omelets are good. Omelets are really good.
Yeah, weird ones like I have tomato sauce and French toast.
Well, that's egg.
Yeah, I know. I love French toast though. I love French toast, but smother it in tomato sauce.
Yeah, that's normal.
Is that normal?
Yeah, I think that's normal. Yeah.
It makes me feel a lot better.
Good. Hey, you're a young man. What's next for you? What's your goals on, off field? What do you want to do?
Yeah, footy wise, I just want to take that next step in my game. Like I feel like I've sort of shown what I can.
You're going to.
Yeah, I'm going to.
No, you are. You already have. You haven't done it yet, but everyone's saying that you're the next. You see the article, Canecorns?
No, I haven't. No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm not like a real massive like.
I'll forward it to you.
Thanks. It might give me a bit of confidence boost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like going to that next level and like becoming one of the dominant players in the AFL, and
love that.
That's my next goal, and that's what I'm working really hard towards. Like you said, in this off season, and my running, and I'm just taking like gym to a next level, and hopefully, speaking to the club post season stuff, just getting some more time in that midfield, and I think I can help our team in there, and bring my strengths in there, which is like just attacking the game and clean and being quick, and just helping us around the stoppages and getting the ball moving forward, and hopefully lacing out Big Dicko a few times would be nice. So
nice.
Off field, just want to keep. I'm doing a bit of work with Ronald McDonald House at the moment, so I'm really enjoying that, and like it's good to get down to the house every now and then, just like you said, perspective again, just like talk to some people and what they're going through, and like you said, I can just help make someone's day, and go down there and just help out where I can there, and probably pick up. I'm not sure like exactly what I want to do post footy yet. Like it's something I've been thinking about. Like got a few ideas, but nothing like settled. So just like try and find what I want to do next with my life, and what other hobbies. But yeah, probably putting a lot of time into golf as well. I need to get better.
Yeah, you do, man. It's embarrassing. Yeah.
I need to get better.
We'll have to have a game. Honestly, we'll have a game soon because I think you're probably the only bloke I could beat at this stage. I think you're the only one that's somewhat
I'm real
shitter
competitive now.
than me.
I'm like real competitive. I'll probably go 200 golf balls tonight.
Yeah, you should. You definitely should. Do you know as well that I know it's a good thing that you don't read the newspapers because I was starting a rumour about you. Did you hear this? Did you see this? I was trying to start a rumor on Twitter that you're getting traded to the Blues, and it didn't take off because I think people knew. Because I was again speaking to Kane Corns, I was trying to fire him up because he was doing trade radio.
Oh, okay.
And I was like tweeting saying apparently Zak Butters is requesting a trade to Carlton, and like there was a few kind of pairs that were like biting at it.
So
like,
you got a few.
I got a couple of them.
That's all you need. That's what you
couple of them bit, which is good. So can we just confirm that is true?
I can't confirm it's not true.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good to see Vossi there. I think he's an awesome man.
Yeah. What's
for the job?
Yeah, give us a quick insight on that.
Yeah, Vossi. Yeah, he's like such a good bloke, and I think like he works really well and like really good at driving standards, and like he like sort of like as he was as a player is like pretty ruthless and like. But like he's real big on the connection side of things as well, and he was like really helping lead that at the club. He like took some weekly sessions and like he's really good just working with young people, and like yeah, he's like really. I feel like you can talk to him about most things, and yeah, like I said, he's had such a successful footy career, and I think like second time around, like I think he'd be really good for the job, and I think like kind of lucky to have him. Like
yeah,
I know a lot of like us boys like sad to see him go because he's like such a good quality person and like someone you want around your footy club. So
for sure,
yeah, hoping he absolutely kills it there.
I reckon. Yeah, no, you make a great point. Like, do you think that just on that with the second time around as a coach, like did he ever speak about that like as his piece of when he was coaching there, like that you know he'll obviously would have developed a lot and learnt from that first go at it, and he'll be much better for the run, and being with Port 2 under Ken and all these other people, it's going to be a completely different situation really.
Yeah, I think like the 5 or 6 years he had at Port Adelaide, like just being this like the second guy and basically the assistant coach, like but doing a bulk of the work as well. I think like speaking to him, like it sort of took a bit of pressure off him at the start, and then but now he sort of like he was seeking getting back into that full-time role and like seeing himself that he'd improved so much as a coach and as a person as well. Like, he was ready to be a senior coach again. So yeah, stoked for him.
Awesome, mate. Thank you so much. That's great chat. I really enjoyed that.
Thanks for having me.
No, I love you. You know that. And we're mates now officially.
We are.
So fucking cool. I can't wait to tell everyone. That's sick. I'm going to get over to Adelaide and we'll hang out in Henley.
Yeah.
Go to the beach.
Oh, yeah. Summertime, like Adelaide, it's pretty nice in Henley Square.
Got to get over there, man. We were saying before, like, with the weather and stuff, it's just not, and I've got to, it's more me here. I've just got to put Adelaide a bit more in front of mind. We love Adelaide. We have a lot of beautiful people that listen to the show in Adelaide. I need to commit to being better at being Adelaide.
Yeah, like, I'd never been to Adelaide before I got drafted, like, so like, I didn't really know what to expect either. So I was like, but now being there, it's actually a lot nicer than I actually thought it was. Like previously from just being in Melbourne.
It's beautiful. It's very quiet though, isn't there? There's not much, like, there's no traffic and stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's probably like the best thing. Like, there's no traffic. Like, you can buzz around anywhere in like 20 minutes or so. So it's pretty handy. Like compared to probably playing for Melbourne Club, I'm guessing like it'd be a fair bit of traffic getting the train.
Oh, there's traffic. Yeah. Do you know that? Again, I don't know if we're still recording, but when I got delisted from Carlton, before I got picked up to the Giants, I was going to move to Adelaide, and I was probably going to play Sample.
Really?
Yeah.
For what club?
For Central Districts.
Oh, yeah.
So they're a bit out, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a bit like, they're like half an hour out from like maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah, like it wasn't confirmed or anything, but that was one of the clubs that was like keen to get me over, and I was like, fuck, I wanted to get out of Melbourne, like really badly. And I think like it didn't get close enough for me to ever like sign or anything like that. But and one of my good mates, Nick Coleman, who is at Gold Coast now, he was playing at Centrals at that time. I was like, fuck. I reckon if I had have not been picked up again, I would have gone to Adelaide. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've played 2 Stanford games, both against Central Districts. Fun fact.
They're pretty rough, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pretty tough out there.
Yeah,
like,
that's why they wanted me. Love it.
You attract what you want. So.
Exactly. Butts, thanks so much for the chat, man. I really appreciate it. Love what you're doing. Can't wait to see you really attack next year. I honestly have so much belief that you will get to everywhere you want to be. One of my favourite players to watch. It's been an honour.
Thank you. It's been a while coming, but good to get in the show.
Love it.